Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. Alright, we got some very exciting content that has dropped. Endless Cloister is here, something that we all been waiting about. And the key word about endless is right. It does feel very endless. It's an endless grind. I'm only on difficulty 7 right now just because how busy I've been and haven't had the time to play. Um, but let's talk about the mechanics of it. We can see some of the players who had the time to grind so far is at stage 29 already. So from what I've heard is 20, a lot of people were stuck at 25, 25. It was kind of hard. I think every 10 levels, every level up, you get 10 levels higher. So by the time you get to 40, I think we might be looking at monsters that are level 500, which is unseen in any other content. Very impressive to see someone at 29 already. That means they're fighting monsters that are level 390 and not failing and consistently surviving through all of the waves. Very impressive. Um, let's check out which mythic one I got. Well, I guess this can go on Brynhild. But let's first talk about the rewards. I think people are looking for, when new content comes out, how good is the reward? Uh, the rewards are decent. I mean, let's talk about how this works. So every week, right? You want to make sure you do this content every week. You need whenever you finish stages, there's an amount of progression points. You can see here we got 850. I guess the higher level you are, you get more progression points. So clearing it will fill up this bar faster. Once a week, this bar resets. So yes, you get every week you will be getting a random blessing chest, I'm pretty sure. If you don't believe me, let's read it together. So, uh, what will happen every week is uh, every Monday, where is it? Uh, Wait, hold on. There we go. The endless cloister is cleared at 2 o'clock East Central Time. So every Monday, the challenge progress, accumulation points, available attempt are reset at this time. So every Monday, this progress bar resets. The keys that are, I think, the keys can be saved, can't go over, but but your bag. So apparently, so here you can see I got 6 permanent cards in my bag, right? So this 6 permanent card will be reset, so you can't carry forward like the boost indefinitely. But while I'm battling throughout this, like whatever I collected on every stage that I finish, I will be able to keep 1 card. Okay, so this helps you kind of gain the momentum to help progress a little bit, but really, I mean, I'm not at a stage where these cards are making a difference for me. I'm sure they will later on, but I just want to make sure people understand first how much rewards you're getting. Okay. Um, Now you need keys to actually claim rewards. So 5 key per stage. There's 5 bosses, and when you are battling throughout this, right? There is the first clear rewards that you get. But if you're doing the repeats now, it's going to be very similar to Faction Abyss, where you kind of get different level of runes and you have different chances to get these drops. Now, what's really frustrating though is it's already low. Again, we're at stage 6, right? We don't know how. Check out the other content creator. I think just on this list. I know. Chronix is a streamer, so I maybe if he's streaming, you can see how far he's pushed. But um, again, I'll have time to push. I'll share. But you already have a low probability of getting this, right? And then with inside the chest, you're really looking for like S and A, which is a very low probability. And that's very frustrating for people because we're about to go take a look at the auction house to see how big and wide the stat distribution is. Um, so what came along with Endless Cloister is you got the trading house. Okay, the trading house basically have all these runes. So let's take a look at um, an example of say Mythic HP stats. So the Mythic HP stat is 30% for A. For a B, it's 20. That's 10% difference. And for a C, it's 17%. So still kind of strange trying to figure out, okay, so how big some of these differences are. Here is 11% on a B. I could have swore earlier on I saw, I mean, here you can see B and C, it's only 3% difference, but A and B is like 10% difference. So it's very big and different in jump. And here is again we got another A, but you see it's A, but it's 25%. And here is a A that's 29%. So this seems like the stats seems to be you have a range. It's not the same for all of them. Once it hits a certain threshold, it will be classified as a certain ranking level. Here's a B that's but you can see A is better than a D. Like a D on Mythic is not as good as an A. And D here, so the ranges are massive on these. So don't be like, oh, I got a Mythic and it's great. So knowing the distribution are very wide on these, okay? And again, I don't think we're at a point where I would recommend any of you start doing these auctions, but maybe this will help you with trading because you could be selling my stock. Okay, so I think average price stock. So I could, in theory, I could sell these, right? So let's try to figure out how to do this. So stock, please buy now currently. The initial can't be bid. Um, so let's just say if we want to minimum bid, let's just say 55,000. If you want to buy it now, you got to pay me. Okay, stock it. So now you can see my trade on sale. I have something on sale. And here's the user ID. So this is now how trading works. So in here, when you look at all of these are actual players that are asking for bids and asking for sales, right? See, what's problematic with this system is nobody actually has any red crystals right now, I don't think. For you to get red crystals, you're gonna have to buy them, right? You see, kind of see where the problem is. The first person who actually needs to bid needs to buy them, and people are asking for a ridiculous amount on these. So unless there's another source to be getting these red diamonds, nobody's going to be able to buy this. I mean, you can try to bid, but nobody's able to bid it, right? So you see something really good, the player has to actually now buy all these gems, right? And then now, once they have the gems, they will be able to, use it to buy from somebody else. So here is kind of where the system is like, I'm not sure how this system is going to work because then, and it seems like only Epic and above can be sold. I mean, I'm not seeing any greens anywhere, right? So anyways, um, and you could tell people, I guess, what ID it is. It's not your user ID, by the way. So you can at least trading hall, you can search the product ID, so you can maybe advertise your product in chat. Um, well, I think burning bonus is good. So if you're watching this video, if you wanna, so I'm gonna sell it. I mean, I actually kind of want to keep it. I want to put it on my jack. Sorry, I'm not selling it. So maybe now it's opportunity to talk about, the how it works, right? So now we see we all get a blessing icon here. I'm gonna put burn on here, equip. So now basically I got additional burn damage. Pretty sure here you can sort by the different type of blessing you get. You can put 2 blessing of each type. Um, so here on the knight, these are the ones you can have. I can look for attack percentage. Do I have attack percentage? No. Do I have other burn damage? Burning damage? I don't have any. Um, so, however, we can craft, right? So we can craft. We can take 10 of these, but I don't have 10 yet. So when you have 10 of these, you can actually combine it to get to a better level. Quick craft. Yeah, and you can craft your commons, rares, and elites into your purples. I don't think your purples. I don't know if. Yeah, this is quick craft. I'm pretty sure eventually you can get purple to be combined into mythic. Sorry, purple into legend and legend into mythic. Though I would advise you to carefully look at what the stat is and the range of where it's at because, we just saw earlier, like a legendary A is going to be way better than like a C and D mythic. So if you have something decent, maybe it's not wise to actually combine and raise any higher. All right, so I think that kind of explains the mechanics. By the way, if you're looking for where your bag is, it's over here now. This is where your bag is. Used to be down here, now it's the trading house. Um, I think I think this is probably a good coverage of how blessing works, how the trading works. Um, I would encourage you to give it and how the reward kind of system works. Oh, by the way, so now there's a new shop, right? So there's a diamond. I think when you do repeat cover, yeah, even when you repeat it, you still get diamonds, right? So every week, if you look at it, this is plus some of the play. So you're looking at about a 500 diamonds a week or so. Okay, here's Rainbow Diamond Store. I'm at 500. The Hero Selection Chest is 20,000. Okay, 20,000. Think about the opportunity cost here. To get a limited hero, you're essentially giving up on an entire A5, I guess, 20 5-star eggs, right? You're also giving up on maybe the equivalent of, here's 10 Echo Runes. I'm sorry, 1 Echo Rune for that. So 200 Echo Runes. Okay, so, or how many summons? We're talking about, or 200 Excellent Rune summons. So now I come to think of it, yeah. So if you don't have one of these heroes at E3, hey, free to play, you have just gotten your ticket to some limited heroes here. Um, yes, it's going to be slow. You're probably going to get maybe 600 a week. But 600 a week, half a year, like 30 weeks, a little bit more than half a year, you've gotten yourself a limited hero, guaranteed. Could be worse. I mean, I feel it's kind of high, kind of expensive, but could be worse, right? Uh, It's free, take it, right? Like it's just like in our arena store. Back when we first started the game, we were like, oh my God, guaranteed legendary hero. And it took us, what, on average 3 months or more to save for Oakman, but we did it as a free to play. It was really helpful for those of us who can't get a decent hero for the faction, for the force mark. But here now you see Rainbow Store. I mean, if we think about it, we on average probably get every week like 300 points, and it took almost. I mean, it's not as bad as this, but this is something you can start saving towards, right? I mean, unless you need legendary tough sets. I actually find the tough sets actually pretty cheap compared to the cost of some other stuff. This means every 3 weeks you get a guaranteed legendary piece. Like if you really want to complete a set, for example, if you need the extra speed. And these, I do mind you, do come at least with one guaranteed sub. So, you know, it might be workable. Um, so again, I'll prioritize this, but if you already have your limited heroes, and at them at E5. Like I might actually be saving for these because I want to E5 some of these, and I think it's better than spending $99 on average right now to get limited heroes from the past rerun. So great option here. Very good updates, very free to play friendly. Um, get started. It's very endless. It's a grind. Players have made the suggestion like, as you play through this, please give us skip buttons because boy, I can tell you it's boring. So let's see a little bit of gameplay. So basically, for the time being, like, I mean, we're not going to talk about the mechanics too much. I'll spend, um, you basically every round you get to select a card, and the card helps you with the battle. I'm not at a point where these cards even matter because I'm just one-shotting everything. I will have a follow-up video to talk about maybe prioritizing and strategizing on how these cards will help you progress. We're not there yet. It'd be kind of pointless trying to read and theorize what's most useful because we don't know what's going to be the bigger issue later on. Is it going to be the turn limit or is it going to be survivability, right? I think um, where it could either be either way. Like we take too many turns because we can't, or we really need survivability. So every 5 levels you face a boss, and the boss I've seen all sorts, right? They could have came from some variation of Tower Mark. They came from um, Elemental City. We've seen bosses that came from um, bosses that came from like the regular dungeons. So what's kind of neat is at least every round it's like you're from a random map background. So it gets very boring very quickly. And you have to clear and grind your way through this. If you have blue stacks, maybe you can set up a macro and just let it run. But man, it is boring. Players already made suggestions around the skip button. Maybe you can skip 4 levels that only have to do the boss fight. Um, that would be nice. Um, so we'll leave this video where it is at right now. Um, at least you kind of know what to do to get started. Um, Really, I think at this point in the game, a lot of us are really just let's just click through this, run 25 battles, painstakingly run through 25 battles to just get our progression to a point where, hey, we actually need to now think and is kind of challenging now. We need to see what cards we need to get. But for the time being, just do the painful clicking, get through it, get to a point where you're kind of at your threshold. And then hopefully in the next video, I will be able to help you decipher maybe some of the strategy and thought process around how to actually pick your cards. Pretty sure it will matter. And maybe think about your team composition because yes, end game players can run like a limited team and just, face roll all content, but the regular, the newer players, you can do decent on these. Just remember, whenever a hero dies, um, you can't use it, and they preserve the same HP as before. But I think what's nice is, I think you get all of your skills on cooldown when you start. So that's almost kind of like Space Temple, so you can maybe use a burst heavy team later on, like CC. So think about CC heavy waves, right? Like you CC full control, burst them down. Um, that could be a strategy for you because you really have, yeah, it's nice to start with all cooldown. For boss stages, it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to have to think about the boss mechanic and what you need to do to deal with that. But for the most part, the waves are pretty straightforward. You want to go for maybe a heavy CC to just clear it. Use one team for that, and then maybe for bosses, use a different team. That will be my suggestion for you right now. So hopefully you enjoy the overview of the updates. I wonder when will we start seeing more red crystals into circulation because honestly, unless they give free to play some, I mean, this is a really problematic design, right? If you think about it, is the more red diamonds we have in circulation, the more inflation there's going to be, right? So more purchasing power, things are just going to gradually more expensive. But right now, I think things are at just some ridiculous number. I don't think people realize that how expensive it is to buy red crystals or red diamonds, and nobody has any. So unless the game somehow generates some red diamonds for us through the endless Cloister, endless Cloister here. Like if there's a way to earn red diamonds, maybe we can then start trading. But otherwise, someone's got to spend that money first to get some red diamonds into circulation, right? So yeah, so I mean, in other game design, for example, if people actually buy gems, like in this other game I play, it's like you have two different type of gems. Like when you spend it from when you receive, for example, when you bid, you have to use red diamonds, but when you get when, sorry, you go to trading house, right? So in some games I played, it's like you get the currency, the premium currency, you buy it, you bid, but the person who managed to sell it actually receives the free to play version. So for example, they bought it, but actually you receive diamonds for it, not red diamonds. So you can't reuse that in the system. So basically, people who actually spend money to get the premium currency um, could actually get it. I feel like um, they gotta fix the trading house. The way it's implemented right now, like we won't be seeing trades. I don't think. I don't expect us to be seeing trades. Um, not like this. Like yeah, like the price. Um, yeah, like bid $5. I don't even think someone has 5 gems to bid. So we'll see. We'll see if anybody actually bids. Maybe it'll just take time for people to spend money and get into circulation, starting with the small ones. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's new content. We'll see when the balance comes through. But maybe they got it's trading is a very dangerous thing in any sort of game. It depends on player volume. If we see red gems getting injected into, sorry, red diamonds get into the system circulating too quickly, we'll see massive inflation and things will just get very expensive very quickly. So yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes. And we'll keep an eye on the trading house over the next few weeks and see how it evolves. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Very, it's very endless. Let's put it that way. But hey, it gives us power creep, right? Now basically you all of a sudden got 6 more slots to put in basically equivalent of really big substats for a hero. Like some of these small, even the small ones, right? Like look at this crit rate. 5% crit rate on on A elite. You're probably going to get tons of these. That's actually what 1.5 roll on a on a piece of gear, right? So we could easily see maybe a 20% boost like to our combat damage from the full set, like anywhere between 20 to 30%. I would assume, just coming from legendary, maybe legendary and mythics, if you get a full set. There's a lot of stats that could come here. So yeah, more stat inflation. I think I'm not sure now. The dev notes were like, oh, this is going to change the way we play, change the meta. I don't see it swinging the meta, but I think for some heroes it might become stronger than before. So for example, um, I do have a Lucia. Where is Lucia? Lucia is one difficult hero to build. Like, look how many things you need to make her decent. Attack, crit damage, effective hit, mastery. Um, I think some of these heroes that are very stats hungry perhaps will scale better with this. But I don't think that's enough to tip the meta though. So maybe in PvE situations, some hero we might see a little bit more use now. Lucia, for example, will be one where she scales really well once you get to a certain, critical need on her stats. But yeah, enough said. Hope you enjoyed the overview and hopefully it helps you with playing with this content. And wherever you're at, have a great rest of your day and Gandalf out.